Hey yo, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese in real life, not in fake life, because they just faking about their life, man. And we had another show of Just the Thought, man. You know what I'm saying? So tonight we got a show. It's jam-packed for you. I got stuff going on outside. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Tonight's show is gonna be real good, man. We got some amazing guests. I cannot wait to be able to get this show started. So yeah, man, like we always do, let's bring in the intro and let's make this thing pop. You know what I'm talking about? Yo, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, and I want to share my experiences with you. If I had to put my life in one word, I would have to say ridiculous, man. From growing up in one of the worst neighborhoods in St. Louis, Missouri, launching a successful music career, recording with some of the top names in the industry, and launching my own clothing line, traveling the world, discovering the power behind yoga and meditation, and how it can heal the mind as well as the body. So tune in to my show, Just the Thought. Follow the story, like the page, subscribe. Let's write the rest of the story that you've always dreamed of. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. See you soon. The first thing we do is go in the morning and tune right into our phone. And it's the worst thing that we can absolutely do. Because what we're doing now is we're taking on other people's feelings about the world. You read a news article, you're reading somebody else's feelings about a situation that happened. You see somebody getting shot, and you see this, and you see the caption, and now you're taking on all these different perspectives of what everybody else's outview, and you didn't even get a chance to even wake up and see how you felt about the world today. You never even get a chance to even wake up and see how you're really, 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 truly feeling. Because the first thing you do is take on someone else's feelings. Yo, peace and blessings, man. Peace and blessings. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, man. And we back live, you know what I'm talking about? And so tonight we got our guests in, man. I'm going to bring them in, man. We going to let them introduce themselves. It's an amazing guest. Hold on. Let me get them in here right quick. Man, what's up, man? How y'all feeling?
Peace, peace, peace. How are you?
Brother.
Man, peace, man. Hey, look. Let's bring this in. Let's bring this in clear, man, because I got to get this in focus for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys introduce yourselves because I think all the time what I always say is I've been to one of you guys' retreats. It was amazing. It was definitely life changing for me, and I felt like at the end of it, I met some friends that we could be able to build. And man, it like I tell you, you guys are amazing. So introduce yourselves and tell people about yourselves.
Ladies first.
Absolutely. Get a lady the stage.
Peace, everybody, and thank you for the opportunity to share space with you all today. My name is Akila McQueen. I go by Key sometimes. And I am a homeschooling mompreneur, owner of 2 businesses, Supreme Essence and Imperial Essence. I have my master's degree in music therapy with a concentration in mental health. I really believe in helping or creating spaces to help people to assist in their evolution of consciousness, helping them to achieve self-mastery, as well as I am a daughter of the fungi, energy cultivation facilitator. I am also just soul-led completely and wholeheartedly, and I'm grateful to be a vessel of Spirit's excellence. I'm grateful to be a servant to those who I encounter who are seeking the same thirst of wisdom that I am, and I've recently been initiated as a shaman, and I've been just on a journey of taking my life's work seriously, my purpose seriously, and I'm just grateful and thankful to be here today. So,
Absolutely. Hey, man, look, I'm telling you, hey, look, if don't nobody know y'all, man, y'all do so much in the community, like for real, and building and healing. And that's what I always want to be able to give y'all some type of platform. So Supreme, go ahead and drop them down on what it is that you do as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my name is Supreme. I also go by Shri, Neptune, Love, Wisdom. Um, in the kitchen, I go by Chef Supreme. I am a raw foodist, a living food chef, trained
Fire, 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 fire.
trained
Go ahead. Keep going, bro. Keep going.
trained by one of the best that ever did it, Dr. Aries Latham. Other than that, I'm also a quantum wellness holistic practitioner, which means I work with people's minds, emotions, spirit, and their physical body to basically optimize their health on some of
Mhm.
the most deepest and profound levels. And in addition to that, I also practice an advanced somatic healing trauma resolution modality called alchemical alignment, which basically, yeah, I mean, we're going to get into that,
Yeah,
but
yeah, we gonna get into all that. Get into all that because so some of the things that I know that um your business do that you guys touched on just a little bit on and didn't even touch on this part where you guys do retreats as
yes,
well. And so, if people don't know, man, about what goes on at these retreats, man, it's an amazing time. And like Akila said, she does this thing with music, and it's music therapy like that that's healing. And tell us a little bit about that so people can be able to be in tune because it's a lot of people that are not in tune with how vibrations and how they change us and how they move us.
Mhm. Okay, so a music therapist is a little bit different than a sound therapist or a sound healer. So I definitely want to make that distinction. Music therapists are musicians who study quantitative methods of how to utilize music to address a non-musical goal. Um, One of the things about music is one of the only phenomenons on Earth that interacts with the entire brain, and therefore it can be used to help people to address mental health issues,
Mhm.
deal with grief and loss, autism, dementia, uh, traumatic brain injury, stress, anxiety, depression, you name it. It's tons of things that music can help rehabilitate, um, bring into wellness and balance, as well as inform and empower you on whatever it is that you are looking to achieve. And so, as a music therapist, I have spent my time studying psychology, behavioral health, the anatomy of the body, neuroscience, counseling, and different things of that nature to be able to provide a holistic approach with clients by utilizing the thing that we all speak, which is music.
Absolutely, because man, like it's amazing how you guys are able to take exactly what it is that you both are able to do and make it into a whole holistic experience. You know what I mean? So Preem, like with what it is that you do and how you guys are able to tie this in, why don't you inform people a little bit of like even with the walkthrough with the music and how the music goes into what it is that you do when you bring these people on these retreats and how you plan on being able to heal them.
for sure. So from the music point, like Akila just said, the music is pretty deep because it basically calls in all of who you are. We just had a sidebar conversation a little earlier talking about that childlike state. And the interesting thing about children is that, their work is their play, right? So
Mhm.
they're able to bring all of themselves to the forefront in everything that they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So once people start to actually soften and relax and they hear music and that music starts to call their soul, we witness people start to take off their armor and they start to open up and become fully receptive to life. And not only that, many times people have amazing stories that they share with us days after the retreat, during the retreat, years after the retreat, about how these experiences go on to live with them and they actually can hear the keynote of their soul. And so I practice, sound therapy with sound healing instruments at the retreats. And it's an amazing, amazing experience just to be able to, one thing about it is that the sound healing instruments, they automatically just tap you into that meditative type of state. So if people are having issues meditating by themselves, it's an amazing adjunct tool to help facilitate that process.
yeah, for sure. And then it's so amazing. So I'm breaking down just how y'all do everything y'all do, right? So then it's like it's an experience with y'all because then it goes into like I didn't see being around y'all, how you're homeschooling your children. That was very amazing to me. And then also watching how you were homeschooling them and then schooling them and then with food as well, like giving them the experience of being able to juice, being able to do the raw things. And so like your whole lifestyle is this real big healing thing. And so Akila, let's go into that part of the process is that how we take the music to the homeschooling, and then also touching on the food and how you guys do your thing. So I'm gonna give it back to you about like the homeschooling. Tell people about that, and then how it also with the food, how you feel like it educates your children.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna say that as a musician, life is a musical. Okay.
Absolutely.
Everywhere you look and you turn, it's music in my world.
And look, I'm gonna tell people for real, for real. Hey, look, I had the experience of being in your presence with this. I felt like I was at, I don't know. Hey, look, I'm talking about, man, heaven. Like I don't know what it was. They got a whole choir. She got the whole thing popping off. They playing pianos. They doing everything.
Yes, and that is kind of what is the infrastructure of what we do, because music is bringing all of these different sounds together and making it a harmonious sound that we all know and love. Um, and so I kind of just implement that with everything. These are
Yes.
all different. Homeschooling is a note. Creating food is a note.
Mm.
Doing the meditation and yoga is another note. You're just bringing all these things together and you have a beautiful song that I call life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Hey, because I feel you. I'm so like everything in my life is music. You know what I'm saying? It is music. You know what I'm saying? I'm strictly off of all vibrations and stuff like that. And like you know what I'm saying? It's like when I talked to, like I was like me and Preem, I remember one time he's like he big, you could tell he been around you long enough. He become a musician and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he real with his words. He was like, hey, yeah, y'all know how this sound go. It gives you this vibration going on. You know what I'm saying? But but going back into that, you know what I mean? Like that's real talk. And Preem, I like break it down to like how that's quantum healing, how that is healing to the spirit, like all those sounds and how they bring in back into what you talk about, the vibrations.
So sound is probably like one of the most closest frequencies to light, right? First thing goes uncreated light, then created light, then that light slows down into sound. So the way that we look at sound is we kind of use sound as a vibrational elevator to God. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Experiment with sound because I'm a mystic, right, at heart, and so I like to play with different tones. And so I realized that you can get completely high off of different sounds. Like I've sat doing mantras and affirmations and just saying the same sound over and over for like 30, 40, 50 minutes. And I kid you not, I am in some of the deepest states of meditative absorption. And, in terms of the frequency and the vibration, here's the thing, like we love to work with groups of people because groups represent families. There's a part in our psyche and the structure of our psyche that is looking at everything relationally, meaning as I talk to you, you remind me of my brother, or he reminds me of my father, or she reminds me of my sister, right? And so work as families. And so one of the things that we do is utilize sound and music because that instantly taps people into the highest states of consciousness. It's like artists reveal reality, and they do that through their words, their poetry, and sound. It's something that you can feel that just resonates, and you might not even have a thought about it, but it takes you there. And so we utilize the sound because it instantly kind of anchors the group into a vibration that can actually pull down spiritual energy. So that's like something that we begin with and end with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it kind of it's actually what kind of seals and holds the space for us. You know, I would go so far as to even say that sound is the creator of this world. I mean, I'm not an atheist, right? I believe in God or knowing God and stuff like that, but God is so G, source is so G that it uses light and sound to do its bidding, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, it makes all the sense in the world. You know what I mean? And one thing that you touched on when you were talking about that, it brings us to pretty much our question of the night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it goes back to when you said it makes you feel something that you felt before. It goes back. And what we talking about right now is it helps you deal with that childhood trauma.
Yes,
You
I.
know what I'm saying? It goes back. And I know with a lot of the stuff that we talk about with the vibrations and we talk about the sound healing, it's dealing with our childhood traumas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so my question of the night is do we believe that childhood traumas play an effect on our lives when we get older? And so either one of you guys can be able to chime in on that, and then also you can be able to put it into the fact of how you guys are healing people through through the things that you're doing and touching on those childhood traumas.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I feel that what we have learned, we could talk about what we have learned school wise, book
Mhm.
wise, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in the experience of life, most of us can say that our childhood has had a direct impact on our liberty.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it is the foundation on how we have learned to relate to other people. It is the foundation on how we've learned to understand what love is. It's also has taught us about our fears, our insecurities, our doubts, our worries. Um, it's also what's inside of our mind that talks, that mental chatter, right?
Man, that voice is ain't it? That voice.
Exactly. It creates the compilation of that mental chatter.
Hmm.
Um, so a lot of our voices is not even just us. Some of those voices that we hear are from the people that we have known since we were a child.
Man, oh my God. Look, when I say you hitting on something, because I remember, you know what I'm saying? I used to be like, man, I'd be in my mind telling myself I couldn't do something. And it wasn't even me. It was either my mother at that time telling me I couldn't do something.
Mm-hmm.
It was somebody else, and it was just that doubt and that fear
Mm-hmm.
that, that wasn't even me.
Yes. And it's so powerful because the brain is literally the part of our body that holds information as far as like memory, right? Our body holds memory, but the brain is also a part of the body. So it's
Hmm.
not separate from the body. It's all the body together, right? And with the brain holding all this information, it has the ability to continuously go back in time and retrieve information over and over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
unless we overwrite that message, right? So I'm gonna kind of break it down a little bit.
Hmm.
They say like the brain is like a computer, right?
Hmm.
It processes information and it basically tells the rest of the body what's going on or what to think, what to do, how we feel, and different things like that. And we can go even deeper into where all the feelings are going, but let's just stay streamlined here.
No, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
Um, so as the brain is processing some of this information, just like when you go on a computer, right? You go
Hmm.
Google, you go look up about juices, go look up about food, you go look up about recipes, you go look about school, blah, 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 blah. And this information can be easily accessible if we go to the history tab. And we
Yeah.
can find all the things that we looked over for the last few days, months, or something or so, right? And
Hmm.
the only way that we can delete this information is if we go to it and clear it. Right?
Yeah.
Now on the computer, when we clear or delete something, it goes into our trash bin, right? And
Yeah.
then we can empty out our trash, right?
Hmm.
And we say it's gone, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people do this with memories.
Yeah.
A lot of times they do this with the things that the people in their life has taught them that they feel is garbage. They don't want to believe. They don't want to think about, or they want to like push far away and repress or suppress, right? But what can a person who loves tech do? What can a hacker do? A hacker could go on your computer and find anything that you have deleted. And this
Mm-hmm.
is a representation of like experiences in life that trigger you, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can look at it as a hacker as a person that is triggering information to be brought back to the service so they can go
Yeah.
find it because they know where to look. That's the same thing as somebody who knows how to push your buttons, who knows your weak points, who knows certain things about you, or just
Woo.
within their own unconscious can say or do things that within their own shadows that triggers things inside of you, right? And so that information comes right back up and they can find it. Now you're in your pain body. Now you're in your child self.
Yeah, buddy.
Feeling like the 9-year-old girl or boy again.
Woo wee. And you on fire. I'm talking about you on fire because that little kid that you done locked down in the basement.
You done thought you done deleted and forgot about, and maybe it done died because you ain't been feeding it or nothing. But the hacking thing, which is the trigger, is what you learn there is that you can't just delete things,
Yeah.
right? The only way that you can permanently delete something off of a computer is if you overwrite it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And that you made something completely over it, right?
Yeah.
Give it a whole new narrative. And then it could be as if it didn't exist. So the work that we're doing is creating spaces to teach people how to rewrite their narrative so that you have or open up new neural pathways inside of your mind. And also free your body from being trapped with old degenerative consciousness, right? Or thought forms or behaviors or whatever that gets trapped inside of our body, our mind, or wherever it houses itself. Until we do that overriding, we are always susceptible to come back into old states of being.
Yeah. And it's super unfortunate because some of us miss out on the best parts of our lives because we be so stuck in the past, worried about what's going on back there, when in reality we have a perfect view of, man, life is happening. I always tell people life is happening for you, not to you.
Yes, sir.
And when you learn how to be able to look forward, you learn the most valuable lesson that, you know what, you born here, you're gonna die here alone. I don't care if you're you're preparing. Ultimately, you're preparing yourself for your next destination at all times.
All time.
At all times. So, Preem, kind of chime in a little bit. So, what I want to pose to you is what's a solution to this, and then also like what is it like, with childhood traumas that they can be able to do, and then also like how does that relate to your businesses and what you guys do, and how do you help deal with that type of stuff?
For sure. So
And hold up, let me, before you get to going, usually I stop at 8 o'clock and it'll be a 30-minute show. But look, check this out. Tonight we just gonna go through because I think what we're doing right now is key to be able to hear. So let's go ahead and keep on going. So you go ahead, Preem, and you got the flow.
okay, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. You mentioned something before. You said that we are always getting to the next destination, right? And so what I wanted to say is that as a baby, right, even when we were gestating, matter of fact, even when we were a zygote and you first became a fusion of an egg and a sperm, right, and then planted in the womb,
Mhm.
you were practicing how you were going to organize reality in the womb. So
Hmm.
so many words, like you've laid down so much of the neural circuitry and the ways that you're going to organize your experience even before you got out the womb, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
To just kind of skip over a couple of things and go to the solution, like to be very blunt and clear, neuroscience, what neuroscience shows us and what ancient wisdom tradition shows us is that the only thing that actually changes us is experience.
Woo! Say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
The only thing that changes us is experience.
Yes.
Experience that literally changes the architecture of the brain. It's experience that literally dissolves the meaning making apparatus of your brain, right? You can literally, like she was saying, you can rewrite, overwrite codes and
Mhm.
impose new codes on them because the true spiritual being that lives inside of you eats impressions. It loves
Yes.
experiences and exchanges, right?
Yes.
So the way that the solution is you have to become a professional. You have to become a professional seeker of experiences that directly contradict what your trauma was. and even more what your narrative, what your mental narrative was. In other words, if you grew up with a let's say an angry, abusive father, and he
Mhm.
rolled out of your life when you was like 9 years old, and you were just kind of entrained to see men as um, never present, unworthy, not there, threatening beings, right? The only way that you actually work with that is then you actually create a excavation team,
Mhm.
support team around healthy men, and you build that into your life. It's
But
like,
let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. So just piggybacking off of this, and you can go there with me, right?
mm,
I think sometimes it's hard for people to be able to view what healthy men if they've never seen one, right?
yeah,
So when you have a healthy man, you're going to view him as probably unhealthy. And sometimes I think our childhood traumas, because for me, sometimes I've experienced it where you think you're the teacher, and in reality, you're the one being taught.
yeah. So the beautiful thing about this is that human beings, we learn by the truth, and we also learn by non-realities. So what's not true. So the beauty of that is that in the shuffle back and forth between, let's say that example of a young woman dealing with a man, and she might not know what a healthy man is. When she has the experience of a healthy man, it might not register. When she has an experience of another man that is, let's say, unhealthy, by that contrast, she'll be able to be like, oh shit, he's
Yep,
the standard. He
yep,
moves like this. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
This person moves like this. And so by contrast, they'll be able to weigh the pros and cons and be led from the real to the real, from the unreal.
But see, what happens too is so we talking about trauma, right? So
Mhm.
then what happens is that when you do have that experience, what sometimes what happens is that they have a you have an unhealthy experience, and then you have a healthy experience, and then like you said, you be like, oh shit, this was this. You get stuck
Mhm.
blaming yourself and being upset about it, when
Mhm.
in reality it's just a lesson, and it's something that we all have to learn. You know
Right.
what I mean? You go through heartbreak before it's really something that's beautiful that could be able to happen to you. But some of us stay stuck in that place of hurt
Mhm.
instead of being able to experience that. You know what? That was an experience at that particular time. I have to then now be able to look at that child and be able to face it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, you got guys can chime in on that, and you know what I'm saying, like, what do you think about that type of stuff? Just facing it. I think people are scared to make mistakes.
Mhm.
So the thing that changes us is that experience, right? In community and support, because it's so easy. And I know you feel me on this too, right? It's easy to go within the cave, your own metaphorical cave, and process stuff. But once you come out into population, you're actually, held accountable, and you get to see yourself from many different eyes, many different viewpoints. And so it's something to be said about being able to have, again, that support team and gathering community, because essentially that's what kind of regulates your system. It's your relationships with people that actually regulate your biology, and your biology dictates how you show up. Your hormones, your neurotransmitters, they basically dictate how you're going to respond or react to a situation. And so over time, by having that support team, that excavation team, you actually allow yourself the grace to see that you are a human, you're capable of error, and it's okay because you're a human. I think a
Yeah.
lot of us have this messiah complex when we grow up from being younger. Maybe you were the older child, so a lot of the weight of the
Woo.
responsibility was placed on you, and you had to prematurely step into that role. But this is what reparenting is. You don't necessarily heal from trauma. That sounds controversial, right? What
Mhm.
you do is you develop a skill set to be able to manage issues as they come up. You develop the skill set and the wherewithal to actually endure and have the stamina to be able to see something and get curious with it, and eventually learn how to respond, overreact. It's kind of like getting shit on your pants, right?
Mhm.
Once you get shit on your pants, you're gonna put your pants in the washing machine, right?
Yeah.
It might still be a little shit stain in your pants.
Yeah.
That's what trauma is. It's a
Right.
residue that sticks in your system, in the somatic cells, and in your nervous system. But you can get rid of the gross and heavy effects of it through awareness. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 And
But
so sis, I was gonna say to you, Akila, like, chime in on that part of what Preem's kind of talking about when he's touching on building that support system and what that looked like and how you guys offer um what that is. You guys offer a support team and letting people know how you guys assist and and also period just what it is you got, like I said, just supporting it, what that support team look like for you guys.
So, first thing I want to say is that because we are, a lot of us, it may not be all, live in this society,
Mm-hmm.
it has almost an agenda for separatism,
Mm-hmm.
right? It really nurtures the individual rather than nurtures the collective consciousness and community.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about the crab in a barrel mentality
Yeah,
over when the village.
loving and harmonious. Yeah,
Exactly. And because of that, a lot of people have a mindset like I'm could do battle by myself, or I want to be independent, or should they hold in all of their information inside of self,
yeah,
which can ultimately be detrimental on some level, right?
yeah, yeah,
Your own thoughts, especially if you're having to navigate your own shortcomings or weaknesses and stuff, may not be at a space where it provides you the capacity to think outside of your old thought forms.
yeah.
So
You
having
know,
support and community gives you this opportunity to open up portals for expansion,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it might be a little bit difficult to lean into that or trust that. But when you look at nature, everything is depending on everything, right? Everything is its own unique independent force, but everything is working together, or it should. That's what nature teaches us. And so the universe itself is not independent, it's interdependent, meaning
mm,
everything is dependent on something for everything to work in accordance of divine will,
Yes, sir.
right? So when we understand that consciousness, we tap into this understanding that I do need solitary and I do need solitude and I do need to be within my own thoughts and my own emotions and my own magnetism, so I know myself on
yeah,
deeper levels. But I also do have to balance that out by interacting with the external world so I can know myself further. So I
yeah,
can learn things from some other people that I may not have come in contact with. Or so
yeah.
I can learn, and you're in this community and this support, it can be people, it could be environments. And by environments, I say like tapping into the elemental wisdom, sitting by the river, hugging on a tree, laying
Absolutely.
grass, being on the mountains. Like these are all your support system, and
Nobody wants to hug on a tree or go to
better
the
hug on
lake.
that tree.
Nobody want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, nah, for real, for real. I'm telling you because I feel you. The one thing about this stuff is that, and it's going back on the same thing what Preem was talking about. It's like experiences, man. You got no at no point about this stuff in this life you got to do the work. And when you figure out that going to a lake, hugging on a tree, walking in the grass, all the stuff that you think is crazy is not crazy. Because when we get back into all this stuff, you know what I'm saying, even in any religious things or anything going back into biblical, because it is what it is, right? It said be in the world but not of it, right? So you're gonna do some things that may be crazy to people,
Right.
and it may seem like it's not conventional to the rest of the world, but in reality, it's conventional with the Most High, and it's what you're supposed to be doing at that particular time.
Facts.
And so I think what we all are offering and what you guys are offering is a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so if people could be able to start learning how to be able to have that experience and learning that that's it's okay to be different from what society tells you to be,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's the solution. It's like being different is your authenticity, and a lot of trauma healing really has to do with how can you rewild your system.
rewire your system. I like that, man. That's like a that's like a t-shirt.
Look, man, shit, I might have
Hey,
fun with that, man.
bro, you got to go ahead and get you a t-shirt with that one and just rewire your system. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
So,
So With that being said, though, we getting ready to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying, man? It's been a beautiful time with y'all, as always, spending time and sharing space with y'all. Let people know exactly where it is they could be able to find y'all. If y'all got any events coming up, anything that your social media handles, anything you want the people to be able to know.
Mhm.
Absolutely. You can find us on www.supremeessencepfw.com. You can also find us on Instagram at A Vegan's Paradise,
Mm-hmm.
or my personal is the Fair Maid Dragini. Your personal?
My personal is Street Neptune 137. Also, be on the lookout for a 66-day challenge for discipleship. This is a program that Queen is running. Currently, now at the moment, Get In Where You Fit In is hot, and it's a hot
Yeah.
commodity. Challenge for discipleship. Just kind of let that name resonate. And also, we have a somatic shadow work play shop. It's a play on the word workshop, but we have a somatic shadow work play shop happening in Atlanta, April 30th. It's going to be food. It's going to be fun. We're going to be doing energy exercises. And so this is some of the projects that we currently have, in addition to our retreats that we run throughout the year.
Yeah, for sure. Hey man, if y'all got any events, like I said, anything that y'all got coming up, man, please y'all could throw me flyers and stuff like that. I'll play them on the show, give everybody else the stuff or whatever too. And then man, y'all both got so much to be able to offer. I'm gonna probably have to bring y'all on individually, right? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna have to bring Queen and her team on her, and they gonna be doing that music. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta get them in the studio type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? For real. And then I'm gonna have to, bring you on Preem, and then, what I'm saying, we gonna get in the kitchen, goddamn me, and hey, bring some of that other stuff in. So like for real, we might have to do a concert though, for real.
My man said the concert.
Hey, straight up, look, we got the whole thing. We got the entertainment, the food, everything. You gonna have it popping.
Let's do it. That sounds fun.
No doubt, y'all. So man, it's been a blast, like I said, hanging with y'all. And man, once again, this is another show of Just the Thought. Tune in next week. Next week, we'll be back next Wednesday. I got another special guest, man. We'll be back. We doing special guests. This is special guest month, man. I got all my superhero friends coming in, like the X-Men. We coming together and we coming in to get y'all. You know what I'm saying? We trying that dirty is boom. Bring it in. We coming to get y'all, boy. We coming to save y'all. So, hey, yo, we gonna sign off. Peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese in real life, not in fake life, because they just faking about their life like my kids will tell you, boy. So I'm gonna go ahead and play another video, you know what I'm saying? And we out of here. Peace.
All he wanna do is post. All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. Post it up, look at me. Post it up, look at me. Showing all my guns, and I'm on the run. Post it up, look at me. Post it up, look at me. Post it up, look at me. Shooting out the window of my homeboy car now. Post it up, look at me.
Look at me, look at me. Look at me, look at me. I posted up on Instagram so everybody can see. My top picture got 1,000 views. Lil' mama, yeah, she like that. I'm all up in her DM and I follow her on Snapchat. You best believe I'm with the drama. Yo, brother died, I shared that, retweeted that, and I posted that, and I looked up and had follows back. I'm on a mission for 1 million views. Taking pictures by the swimming pool. Taking pictures with my food with a hashtag I can't lose. The mama, she twerking, she twerking. I pull out my phone for certain. Look, they fighting, they fighting. I hope somebody get hurting. I can go post this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up. I got 1 million subscribers. Now I got me $1 million bucks.
All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. Post it up, look at me. Post it up, look at me.
Yeah.
Let me get shot, let me get killed. Then post it up, look at me. Post it up, look at me. Post it up, look at me.
Yeah.
Snitch on myself, tell on my crew.
Yeah.
Then post it up, look at me.
Follow me, follow me. Friend me, friend me. Yo, business all on Facebook. Facebook so everybody can see. And when I make a comment, you tell me mind my business. But it's all down my timeline, so best believe I'm in it. You break up with your boyfriend, you best believe I'm in it. I was with y'all when y'all started this, and I'ma be here when y'all finish. Where my killers at? Y'all out here, y'all posted up and y'all taking lives. I'm out here on these corners too. I'm posted up and I'm taking lives. All day, 365. Posted cars, I don't even drive. Ooh, yeah, I seen the accident. I don't even care if they're alive. I'm about to go viral, y'all. Strengthen up my catalog. Just to get my numbers up, I'll make a post about all y'all. So don't even act like it ain't true. Y'all know that y'all do this too. But you done came so immune to it, you don't even really know what you do. You think you're spreading positivity, when all it is negativity. So do me a favor, don't do me no favors. You can keep that life and don't share it with me, come on.
All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. All she wanna do is post. All he wanna do is post. Post it up, look at me. Post it up, look at me. Showing off for the gram, hold it up, money boy. Post it up, look at me. Post it up, look at me. Post it up, look at me. Twerk, 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 selfie, jewelry, jewelry. Post it up, look at me. 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 Posting 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 up, look at me.